Alright, so as you may well know, Lewis Hamilton is moving to Ferrari for 2025. Now that the dust is settled and I've had enough time to internally accept that it's real, I have 3 burning questions about this whole situation. The first question is why? And I feel like it's obvious. Lewis thinks that Ferrari gives him a better chance at that elusive 8th world title than Mercedes does. Lewis Hamilton has won 103 Grand Prix in his career, but the last time he won a race was December 5th, 2021. When the season starts, that'll be an 818-day gap, the longest in Lewis's career without a win. Lewis is used to winning. Mercedes has not been able to deliver him a winning car, a winning strategy, or a winning formula. Not to mention the fact that it's coming out that Mercedes didn't want to commit to Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has been with Mercedes for 11 years. He has been the face of Mercedes, the face of Formula One for a decade plus. And Mercedes wasn't willing to commit to him or offer him additional funding for his projects. And when Ferrari found out about that, they were willing to meet everything Lewis wanted. It's a no-brainer. He thinks they're a more competitive team, and he believes that they believe in him more than Mercedes does, which is wild. Mercedes really fumbled the bag if that's true. But to wrap it all up, the why of the situation is Lewis believes Ferrari is going to offer him a better package to compete for that 8th world title. The second question is, what happens to Charles Leclerc? It's not hidden. I am not a fan of Charles Leclerc. It's not that I dislike the guy, and to be frank, I think I am a fan of him. I'm just kind of mind blown by the severe overrating of Charles Leclerc by the online community. People talk about this guy like he is the second coming of Schumacher, like he is on the level of Max Verstappen, when in reality, he's a glorified Valtteri Bottas. He's a qualifying specialist. Yes, he has a lot of wins, but he doesn't have more than Daniel Ricciardo, so what does that have to say for his situation? He was Ferrari's golden boy, and overnight, he went from golden boy to water boy. I know it's not that severe, it's just a joke, but what does this mean for Charles Leclerc? Ferrari never admit to having a 1 driver or a 2 driver, but in the past, it was very obvious when it was Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz which one the number 1 and the number 2 driver were. So this dynamic is going to be something new to Charles. Not really that new. He came in alongside Sebastian Vettel, but Sebastian Vettel was washing out at the time, and Sebastian Vettel is my favorite driver of all time and one of the best, but he is not on the level of Lewis Hamilton. So it's a whole new dynamic for Charles, and let's see what he can do. But people need to calm down and stop saying that this is the greatest Formula One team pairing of all time. It's not even Lewis Hamilton's greatest team pairing of all time. Let's pump the brakes on that. But Charles Leclerc has a chance to really shut me the fuck up this season if he outperforms 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton. And that last question is, who is going to replace Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes? Let me rephrase that. There's obviously no replacing Lewis Hamilton. He is statistically the greatest Formula One driver of all time. But who's going to take that seat? My dream is if Sebastian Vettel came out of retirement. Let me build you my dream here. His favorite driver is obviously Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher randomly came out of retirement to drive for Mercedes. Seb could do the same. Seb is a perfect stopgap driver to get them through until they get a younger driver in the seat, like one I will mention coming up. Hint, hint. And also, me personally just wants to see him on the grid again, and I think he would look good in the silver and black. And a German driver for a German team? Come on. It's marketing 101. But it's super unlikely. Seb is happily retired, and he is enjoying his beekeeping. But the young gun I was mentioning is Kimi Antonelli. I am not a super whiz kid on the junior formulas. You know this, I know this, we all know this. But from what I've heard, this kid has the beans and could be the next big thing. And especially if he wins Formula 2 this year, there's like no denying him that seat going forward, because why not? But even if not, and they get him in the free practice sessions, he could get enough points for his super license, and they could have a pairing on the grid similar to Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri with two young guns. There's some left field choices I've heard, like Valtteri Bottas making a return, but I highly doubt it. Or somebody random like Daniel Ricciardo, but Red Bull has stepped in and said, no, he's ours, he's under a long-term contract, step away. So it's going to be very interesting to see who fills this seat. Hell, it could even be Carlos Sainz. He was done so dirty in the situation, and that's a topic for another video, but maybe Carlos could fill in there until the Audi project comes, because we're all pretty sure that's where he's going to end up. But there are so many interesting possibilities. Hell, even if this team sucks this year, the biggest mercenary on the grid, Fernando Alonso, could almost finish his infinity gauntlet of Formula 1 teams and go and drive for Mercedes. It would be very interesting, and it is a large domino. A few years ago when Seb retired out of the blue, that was a small domino that had a lot of interesting repercussions. This might be the biggest move in Formula 1 history, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. Well, those are just my thoughts on the Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari situation. It took a few days for it to soak into me and for me to actually accept that it was real. I'm a huge NFL fan. I'm a New England Patriots fan. You've probably seen me wear their merch in these videos. And when Tom Brady left the Patriots, it took me weeks to accept that that was real. And Tom Brady in New England is a more iconic pairing in my opinion than Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, just because of the longevity, but it's equally as important and impressive as of a partnership. So it's just crazy to see it end. I thought I was going to see Hamilton retire a Mercedes driver, but that's enough of me rambling about it. I'd love to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. While you're down there, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button to feed the YouTube algorithm gods, and hit that subscribe button. Also, I really appreciate it for sticking around to the end of the video. It's very important to me, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I've been your host Chase. I'll see you guys later.